Hi, everybody. So, as I said, I've made a plan here for year nine, year 10s. Yours won't be so different. So, I'll just click on it here now and I'm about to share it. So, just looking at what we discussed, and I've written it down here about the first 2 weeks being a catch up, enabling us to sort of reform relationships. Our aim is to develop skills of reading comprehension, language, and for them to finish their assessments from term one. So over here, for each week, I put a bit of a rundown. So week one and week two are pretty much the same. Share the plan with your students if you want. Not like this, we can make a kid friendly version, but just something on your board so each week they sort of know what's going to happen. So focusing on reading, writing, the language skills. Over here, I put a link to Beans, a 3-level guide. It's a really cute little story about a boy, very short, about a little boy who likes going to his football matches on a Saturday. Really cute. So they could do that. There's a 3-level guide attached. I've put Alanda's skim and scan slides from there was a journal, there was an article that she had done, but you can make a copy and adapt that to Beans, or just share that sort of skill with the kids. You could ask them to skim it first or scan it and see what the story could be about. Get them to do some keywords. There are some activities you can do with that, and that could last you probably a week. I've put some reading activities into a document, things you could do. You could do something like all sorts of little cartoons and things like that. So add to that document if you know any more. Reading rocket sites. Actually, this is really good. This is primarily for primary and young kids, young school, but it has so many different little activities that you could do. It shows you what to do with things like anticipatory guides, things like that. Language skills, make sure that you keep them going. I put a variety of language skill activities down here, links to some activities from ARBS, which you really should all join. So if you just put www.arbs, it will ask you to log in, and their resources put out by New Zealand curriculum, actually. All sorts of things down here. A junior language toolbox, Margot, which I actually found on my site for some reason. But make sure you take a copy of it, because Margot did it for her junior, so make sure that you're not copying into her work there. Some language sheets. These language sheets here down the bottom where the cursor is, language worksheets for more advanced or gifted students. I'm thinking that some of the more advanced year nines or gifted would really like that challenge. So it analyses poetry there. But there are a few things down there. The writing activity, maybe some lockdown writing, but please try and focus on something so they're keeping their writing skills up. Perhaps looking at an adverb starter, give them a challenge. It could be as simple as making sure they've got capital letters or full stops. So making sure that they are focusing not just on the content, but on some of the variety of sentence starters and also their punctuation. I've got a link there to, thank you, Rebecca, a document about how to start a blog if you want to do that. And here are some apps that can be used. The Answer Garden one, which we did, Ed Puzzle, Quiz, Kahoot, all those sorts of things. So that's week 1 and 2. Now, the big trick is that you want to keep yourself safe, as we spoke about. So you really don't want to be going around and in kids' faces. So I would put your daily plan, must go up on Google Classroom with links to activities for the children, especially for those who are unable to return. But for the kids who've got Chromebooks, they can go in and do some of the activities there, rather than you all, constantly going around, I'd say. If they don't, well, they're just going to have to use their books. But if you could put the links up to the work that you're going to be doing each day. And again, sharing as much as we can, please. Sharing's caring. So if you can add resources to here, it would really help people. But just keep it simple. Oh, look, I've got a suggested routine here. Perhaps they come in, they do a little bit of language work like they have been doing online, and then each day you can alternate with some reading and writing, perhaps reading comprehension from Beans. I think you'll really enjoy that story. Then they could do a little bit of their assessment that they have to have done there. Just make sure that after you have established your routines you've established your relationship with them, that you don't leave it too long for them to get into a routine, because that's going to keep them safe when they've been in such an unsafe world for so long. So that's week 1 and 2. And then come down here, I'm sorry, it's week 6 and 7, isn't it? It feels like week 1 and 2. But coming down to week 8 and onwards, the short story study will begin. I put a link to the assessment there so you can have a look and see what's going to be expected. So we'll look at, for year 9s, a little short story, something to do with refugees or immigrants to tie in with social studies. So if you know of any, please let me know. So we'll develop a bit of a unit on that, and that should take us through there to the end of the term. But one thing we've got to sort of keep in mind, that there are going to be some activities that they can do online as well if children can't come back, or if we have to go back, God forbid, into lockdown. So I've shared that with you. Can you please just let me know that you have received it? Just a return email will be great. That way I do know people have got it, and I filed it into the year 9, into the junior folder in our Google Drive under year 9. Okay, thanks everybody. Year 10 1 is coming shortly. Bye.